Welcome to my home kitchen where there are no rules. I don't use any rules to cook. I don't like written instructions to cook. I've got some basic knowledge like the painter does, like the guitarist does, and we're going to apply them in the way that we like. You've caught me in the middle of a 6-course French meal for some friends that are coming over to celebrate being able to cook a 6-course French meal, I guess. I'm Chef Todd Moore. My mission is empowering people to cook without recipes. They experience the freedom to cook what they want, how they want it, the confidence to take control and try new things, the health benefits of fresh, wholesome foods, and the family-strengthening bonds of dinner time together, as well as the money they save by eating well. Live without rules. Cook without recipes. It's a no-recipe lifestyle. Beef bourguignon is on the back of the stove. We have already done our roasted red pepper soup, our coquille Saint-Jacques appetizer, our salad niçoise salad. We need some side dishes now for the beef bourguignon. The first being green beans amandine. Here's the problem with cooking green beans. Can't cook them in a conductive method. Putting them in a saute pan is going to burn them on the outside, but if I par cook them ahead of time, if I steam them in my steamer unit here with my steamer basket, make them nice and soft, cook them through, then I can just warm them in butter in a saute pan along with some toasted almonds, something like that. Let's get started on our sides because we need to do a potatoes Anna as well, and I'll show you another way I'm going to make it real easy on myself to be a guest at this party and not just the caterer working it. Time to check on the string beans. Let's pull them out of the steamer basket, and I'll take one. Give it a bite. It's soft in the middle but still a little crunchy, and don't forget I plan to saute them in butter and some almonds, so let's go ahead and shock them in some ice water. Stop that cooking right here and now. It's shocking what I do to green beans. It is. It's shocking. It's cooking them and putting them in ice water. So now they're par cooked or partially cooked. So when I make string beans amandine, that's going to be real easy when the guests get here. Warm it up in a pan with some butter. What's even more shocking is the quick twist I'm going to show you on Grandma's au gratin potatoes and a way to make it look really cool and then give it a French name and call it potatoes dauphinois. I have some Yukon Gold or chef potatoes here. Again, there's a difference between waxy and mealy potatoes. One holds its shape, one falls apart. One's high in sugar, one's high in starch. You ever get a soup and the bits of potato in the soup are dissolved and the soup is thick, or mashed potatoes with lump? Wrong potatoes, wrong type. Anyway, that's a whole nother day. But let's go ahead and slice these potatoes thinly, and rather than make a casserole like Grandma did, let's go back to our ramekin thing. And I've got these Pyrex dishes that I'll layer the potatoes in. When it comes time to serve, I'll turn it out on the plate and we'll have a nice potato dish. Makes it a lot easier for cleanup as well. And again, I want to be a guest at this party. I don't want to be the caterer. This is a great way to do it. Make these portions ahead of time. Let's get to the cutting board, back to our knife skills. To make my potatoes Anna, my variation on it, or Grandma's potatoes au gratin, I want to put them in these little ramekins so that I have individual portions, and that's going to start with my knife skills again. I want to try and cut these potatoes as thinly as I can. With the knife riding against my left hand, I'm moving my left hand in very small increments and then just bringing the knife up and down as it goes against my left hand. Once the potatoes are thoroughly rinsed, then they need to be thoroughly dried. And I put down a towel, or you can put down a paper towel or something if you would like. And you got to deal out all these slices of potatoes onto the towel. The reason for this is if you put them in these little casserole dishes like this and they have a lot of moisture on them, the potatoes will steam. You'll get a lot of liquid. We don't want the potatoes to steam. We want them to cook in a dry fashion, dry out, get nice and soft. So we need to dry each and every one of these potato slices. All laid out, another towel on top. Let's dry them all off. With the potatoes all dried off now it's a simple procedure of layering potatoes. I've got a little bit of melted butter here. Potato, a little bit of cheese, potato, cheese, melted butter, and we'll put a little bit of cream on top. Those will all be set up to just be baked off. They'll be cooking as I'm having cheese and wine with my guests, not standing in the kitchen. With my ramekin cups laid out, what I'm going to do is take a little bit of butter on my fingers and go ahead and grease these cups, because I definitely want these potatoes to come out, or the idea is to unmold them afterwards. So greasing the cups is going to be important. And when the last one is greased, we start layering. Start putting some potatoes in the bottom there. All right. A few potatoes in each. Some of this grated Emmentaler cheese. A little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. And more potatoes. Push them down, squish them in there. Continue in this fashion till they're all filled up, cheesy and good. A little bit of melted butter after the second layer or so. Finish off with a little bit more of the melted butter. And lastly, if we want to be really French, let's add some cream to each of them. And that way they'll kind of simmer in the cream, giving us an even more moist product. I'll go ahead and cover them in tin foil because I do want to cook under a moist method. I kind of want them to steam at first without drying out. One of the reasons that I put the cream and all the butter and the cheese and stuff like that in there. But in these individual cups, not only helps me with portioning, I don't have to worry about putting big slabs of things on people's plate, also helps me with cleanup. I don't have the big pans, got these little ones that can go right in the dishwasher. Also helps me be a guest. So with our modified potatoes Anna, with our beef bourguignon that I just tasted on the back stove that's been simmering for quite a while, and our green beans that were shocked, there's our entree. We're ready to go. The only thing left is our dessert. We need to make some crepes, and if you tune in next time, we'll be creping it for sure on our way to this wonderful 6-course French-inspired dinner, of which there are no rules.